Hi crafty friends, today we're going to make 3 farmhouse DIY Easter wreaths. We're going to make an Easter egg on a grapevine, a navy blue and polka dotted bunny, and the super cute carrot door hanger. If you are new to the Stillwaters page, we focus on all things door decor and front door decorating on a budget. Be sure to hit that subscribe. Come on in, let's start crafting. You'll find a materials list below in the description, along with links to purchase any of these materials that you may need, and also some timestamps so that you can jump around this video and land where you'd like. The first thing we'll be creating today is this super cute rustic farmhouse Easter egg on a grapevine wreath. To begin, go ahead and plug in your hot glue gun, grab a couple of extra glue sticks and a good pair of scissors. You're going to need this Easter egg decorative sign from the Dollar Tree and also this self-adhesive wall tile from the Dollar Tree. We're going to actually use 4 or 5 packages of this today, so make sure you grab a handful from your local store. Go ahead and take out your self-adhesive wall tile. You can see that this has got a sticky back to it. We're going to go ahead and peel off that sticky back and cover the front of that decorative Easter egg sign from the Dollar Tree with hot glue. Just make several swirls and stripes all over the front of that sign, making sure you get a good glue ring around the edge. Go ahead and grab your second wall tile. We're going to need a bit of that second tile to cover the bottom of our Easter egg. When you add that bottom piece, make sure that you're lining up the lines and the decorative bits on those tiles so that there's a seamless flow. After you've given that a couple of minutes to dry, go ahead and grab a good pair of scissors and we'll start trimming off the excess bit of that tile so that we've got that nice smooth finish. Go around the edges of the egg and lift up the tile in any places that it might be a little loose or not firmly attached. Add a little bit of glue and give it a good press down so that it's nice and glued and seamless. Okay, it's time to add some paint to our egg. I'm just going to grab some old cardboard here to lay my egg on and protect my table. Just grab a decent sized paintbrush and your favorite color of chalk paint. I'm using some chalk paint I found on Amazon. I'll leave that link below, and it's in an off-white eggshell color. Just swirl some paint around on your tile, grab your paintbrush, and start painting. We're going to add 2 coats of paint to our egg, and we're not going to focus on perfection because we want this to have that rustic farmhouse feel. The next step is to grab this nautical rope, also from the Dollar Tree, pop off the edges, and we're going to hot glue a single layer of that around the edges of our egg. Looking good. Now that we have the rope added to our egg, we'll set that off to the side, and we're going to grab an 18-inch grapevine wreath. This wreath actually came from Michael's. First thing we need to do is grab our snips and give it a trim. Go ahead and cut away the tag and any loose bits from your grapevine just to give it a little cleanup. Now it's time to add our egg to our grapevine. I'm using 2 floral stems from Hobby Lobby that I'm going to use to add and attach our egg to the grapevine. Outside of camera view, I added 2 1-inch mounting squares to the back of my egg, and that's how we're going to attach the egg to the grapevine. Go ahead and run your floral wire stems through those attachments, give it a single twist so it doesn't slide, and then we'll push those wire through and attach it to our wreath. Once you have the floral wire ran through those mounting brackets, we're going to turn it over and push those wires straight through the grapevine, not around, but through, so that we or our customers don't see that wire. We'll flip our grapevine over, give it several tight twists, and then trim off that extra bit of wire with our snips and curl those poking ends under. Now that our egg is firmly attached to the grapevine, it's time to add the greenery. I've chosen to just add some LAMBSEAR and some filler greenery to our wreath. So I'm going to go ahead and open this package and we'll start trimming off the stems from our bushes so that we can start gluing them in. I'm going to use one full bush of lamb's-ear at the top of the egg and one full bush at the bottom. There's actually just 2 lengthy cuts from each bush that we'll be adding in to the top and 2 to the bottom. I'm going to dry place those first, and then I'll add a bead of glue to the stem and attach them into the grapevine. Remember that your lamb's ear is wired so that you can curve that lamb's ear to go with the flow of your grapevine wreath. Now that we've got our lamb's ear all added in, it's time to get our filler greenery bush and get it all trimmed down. I'm going to use this entire bush in the wreath. Using your wire snips, just trim apart all the stems from your bush, and the longer stems can actually be separated in half. We'll cut the entire bush, get ready to do some dry placement, and then hot glue them in. Once you have all of your greenery hot glued into your wreath, it's time to set your wreath aside so that we can create our bow. I'm just using a couple of different ribbon types here, all of which are wired. I'm using a 2.5-inch black and cream colored stripe, a 2.5-inch burlap with some white lace and a little bit of lace. I'm going to speed through this bow process, friends, but if you need help and need step-by-step instructions with how to make a hand bow or to use a bow dabra to make your bow, I will leave 2 bow tutorial links below in the description. Okay, the next step is to add our bow to our wreath. I've decided to go ahead and add it to the top of the egg. So I'm going to grab my drill a couple of quick holes in at the top, and we'll get that bow added in. I'll be grabbing another floral wire stem to attach the bow to the egg so that I can easily push it through the grapevine. Just run that floral wire through your grapevine, give it several tight twists, snip off the loose ends with your snips, and curl them under with your needle nose pliers. One last step, it's time to fluff out that bow and get it hanging exactly like we would like. Go ahead and grab a pair of scissors so that you can trim your ends at the length that you would like. I'm just going to angle cut the ends today and put a couple of different lengths in there, and then we'll be finished. This rustic Easter beauty is finished, and now it's time to move on to wreath number 2. Our second wreath is a burlap covered Easter egg shaped wreath with a polka dotted Easter bunny and some embellishments. You're going to need an Easter egg wreath frame from the Dollar Tree. We don't end up using those plastic eggs, so disregard. A couple of rolls of small burlap. This is 5.5 inches thick. Scissors, glue gun, your decorative sign that I actually crafted this myself with some Mod Podge and some scrapbook paper. So just grab any sign you'd like from the Dollar Tree and we'll start in. The first thing we need to do is add our mounting bracket to the back of our decorative sign. You may need to use 1 or 2 depending on the size of your sign. So go ahead and flip your decorative sign over, grab a mounting square or 2, determine where you need to place them on the back. Add a drop of hot glue, press that mounting square down into the hot glue, and then you'll run a bead of hot glue all the way around the edges of that mounting square so that it's partially covering the mounting square and partially covering the sign to really have that firm attachment. Go ahead and set your sign off to the side to dry and grab your Easter egg wreath form from the Dollar Tree. You're also going to need to grab your burlap, scissors, and hot glue gun. We're going to start by turning our wreath frame upside down, and we need to get our hot glue gun and firmly glue down or attach that burlap to itself on the back side of that frame. So go ahead and grab your hot glue gun, put a generous dollop of glue on the lower level of your burlap, and then press down that burlap onto itself using your scissors so that you don't burn your fingers. Now we need to start wrapping the burlap all the way around our Easter egg wreath frame, and we're just going to overlap the burlap by a couple of inches of open space at a time so that we're getting good solid coverage with the burlap all around our Easter egg frame. Just make sure as you go that you're pulling that burlap tightly, and on any sharp curves you can just give it a little snip with your scissors, and you can see that we're slowly and with consistency wrapping that burlap all the way around our Easter egg frame and pulling it tightly as we go. I'm going to go ahead and finish wrapping this Easter egg frame with my burlap. You'll see as I work my way through that I actually run out. This is a partial roll and need to grab another roll. If you start this project with a new roll of burlap, I actually picked this up at Walmart, you aren't going to run out. But if you do, just go ahead and glue down one end and glue down the beginning of the new roll and work your way all the way around this Easter egg frame, and I'll meet you back here. Once you finish covering your entire Easter egg wreath frame with your burlap, go ahead and grab your glue gun, run a generous amount of glue on the back side of your Easter egg wreath, and then press down one last bit of burlap using your scissors to poke that burlap down in, and then set it off to the side so that it has a little bit of dry time while we make our bow. For this bow, I'm using 2.5-inch burlap ribbon with white polka dots, a navy blue, and a floral blue in burlap. I'm going to move quickly through this bow, friends. You can click the links below in the description if you would like additional tutorials, and I'll meet you back here. Our bow is finished, and now it is time to pull our wreath back over, and we will add our attachment and our bow after we cut off the remaining bits of burlap, now that the glue is dried. Go ahead and grab your bunny sign, a pipe cleaner, and we'll get that attached to our Easter egg. Just flip that bunny over, run a pipe cleaner through that mounting bracket, give it one twist or two so that it's secured and doesn't slip out. Determine where you'd like to place that on your Easter egg wreath. Then flip your egg over and tightly attach your bunny with your pipe cleaner. Just give it 3 or 4 tight, solid twists, and once you're done doing that, you can trim off the excess bit of chenille stem. Go ahead and grab your glue gun. We're going to run a dollop of glue above and below on our bunny so that we can press down onto our wreath frame and really give it a good, secure attachment. Now that the bunny is firmly attached, go ahead and grab your bow. It's time to get that added to our wreath. We're just going to position the bow where we would like to place it on the Easter egg wreath. Flip it over, and with those chenille stems, give them 3 or 4 tight twists so that our bow is securely attached, and then trim off those ends. Okay, flip your wreath over, and now it's time to fluff out our bow and trim our tails. I'm just going to pull on my loops a little bit to get them fluffed out, grab my scissors, and trim my tails. Time to add the bunny tail. Go ahead and grab these bunny tail embellishments from the Dollar Tree. We're only going to need one, so pull one out, grab your glue gun, add a dollop of glue onto your bunny where you'd like to place the tail, and press that down. Time for the last step. I grabbed some blue florals also from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use 2 of the 3 stems here from this bush. We'll add one above the bow and one below. So I'm going to grab my snips, trim off 2 of those stems, and we'll glue them down. Once your florals are glued in place, you can give your bow one final fluff, and then we'll be finished with this second super cute rustic farmhouse Easter wreath. Our second wreath turned out adorable and it's ready to hang. Let's jump on into our third wreath, a carrot. You'll need a carrot wire wreath frame from the Dollar Tree and some more of those Dollar Tree wall tiles. Go ahead and get your glue gun ready and open up your wall tiles. You're going to need 2 packs. Just go ahead and pull those out. And this time, friends, we're going to remove the white backing that's on the back of these tiles. So no need to take off the sticky tape. You're just going to run your scissors down the side and just cut the very edge so that you can peel that white backing off and be left with just the actual tile. Once you have your tiles prepped and ready to go, you're going to grab your glue gun and run a bead of glue all the way around the perimeter of the entire carrot frame, except for the top piece. Go ahead and leave that top tassel part alone. So I just ran it along the entire edges and then through those crossbars in the middle so that I could then press it down onto my tile and give it a good adherence. Once your glue has set, go ahead and grab your scissors and cut out your carrot. The next step is to paint your carrot with chalk paint, just as we had done before. So go ahead and grab your favorite off-white color of chalk paint. I grabbed mine from Amazon. Swirl it around on your carrot. Grab your paintbrush and give it 2 coats with plenty of dry time in between. And then we'll move on to the next step. Once your carrot is dry, we're going to grab a strand of 9-foot nautical rope from the Dollar Tree and hot glue that to the perimeter of the carrot in 2 rows. So grab your hot glue gun, your scissors, and let's get started. Once you've outlined the carrot with your first layer of rope, cut off that rope and get ready for layer number 2. Okay, friends, grab any shade of green cardboard stock. I just grabbed some leftover scrapbook paper from my Christmas collection. And we're going to trace the carrot top onto this piece of paper so that we can then glue it down for our florals. Just run a bead of hot glue all the way around this cutout, and then you're going to place your carrot top directly on top of this cutout and press down firmly, being careful not to get burned, to attach that piece of paper to your carrot top. Time for the next step. Grab your favorite greenery type. This actually came from Hobby Lobby. Anything that's long and wispy and green that can mimic a carrot top will do. And trim off your strands or your bush so that we can attach them with our glue gun to the top of our carrot. We're going to take a quick break and grab some of these wooden present tags that came from Hobby Lobby, and we'll be needing one of those tags. You can also make this with paper stock if you don't have them available. So go ahead and grab or make one tag. Grab your ruler and a black or white paint pen or Sharpie, and we're going to print the words bunny bait on this tag. Now I'm going to grab a black and white plaid bunny that actually came from a garland from the Dollar Tree. I just popped this guy off, and I'm going to untie my tag, run the rope through the bunny as well so that the bunny is in the back, and leave that off to the side so that we can attach it to the top of our carrot in just a little bit. Now it's time to add our greenery bits to the top of our carrot. Go ahead and get your glue gun, and we'll start attaching. What we're going to do, friends, is just spread a lot of hot glue throughout that carrot top, and then we'll lay our greenery strands with the tallest one towards the center and the shortest on the outsides all throughout that carrot top so that it looks like a nice full carrot top. It is looking super cute. So now we're going to grab some reindeer moss, also from the Dollar Tree. We'll pop that top off and grab our glue gun. We're just going to add a little bit of this reindeer moss directly onto our carrot top, making sure it doesn't go past the peak from the metal frame, just to give it a little bit more fullness. Now grab some 1/4-inch lace from the Dollar Tree, as well as your wired ribbon for the bow, and we're on to the next step. We're just going to take the lace and wrap a single layer around the top of the carrot where the reindeer moss and the carrot meet, just to give it that nice finished polished look. And then we'll affix it with hot glue on the back of the carrot. Time to make our bow, friends. And just like I mentioned before, I'm going to zoom through this piece pretty quickly, and I will leave links in the description on how to make a hand bow if you need a little bit more instruction. Go ahead and grab your bunny bait tag so that we can attach that as well to the center of our bow before we add it to the carrot. We're just going to take that twine that came with the bunny bait tag and wrap it around the center of the bow, and it will be firmly attached. Now grab your floral wire so that we can run that around the center of our bow, and then we'll poke that through the center piece of the carrot top to firmly attach. Go ahead and flip your carrot over and take that floral wire and give it 4 or 5 tight twists so that it's firmly attached around that center crown of your carrot top. And then grab your clippers and just snip off the bits of the remaining wire and fold it down with your finger. And now we're going to grab a 1-inch squared mounting bracket, put a drop of hot glue right on top of that floral wire so that it will also serve a dual purpose. It will hold the mounting bracket and keep your wire in place. And of course, run a bead of glue all the way around the perimeter of that mounting bracket. Give it some dry time, and then grab a neutral colored pipe cleaner so that we can attach that for our hanging hook. You're only going to need a half of a pipe cleaner, friends. So snip that in half, run that through your mounting bracket, make an X at the top with a 1/4 inch of overlap on each side, and twist one side around and around, and then the other side around and around, and then you'll have a circle and it's ready to hang. Once your glue has dried, go ahead and turn your carrot over, and now it's time to fluff the bow. Just go ahead and fluff out your loops, straighten out your tails, grab your pair of scissors so that we can trim those tails at whatever length you would like. I'll just be cutting them at an angle at various lengths, and then our third piece will be complete. Friends, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow. And if you love all things DIY creative, especially on a budget for your front door, go ahead and hit that subscribe. Thanks, friends, for stopping by and spending time with me today. Happy crafting!